Hey guys, my name is Bex, and this is how you lose the book club.
Hey everybody, my name's Andrew Ingram. I am a writer, a comedian, a photographer, a lover of the arts, and I love This Is How You Lose the Time War. You go.
You go.
You go.
You go.
Okay, I'll go. My name's Regan. I am a poet. I am a bisexual who also loves This Is How You Lose the Time War for obvious reasons.
My name is Bex. We do that. My name is Bex. I am a poet, painter, performance artist, visual artist, whatever. I also, This Is How You Lose the Time War replaced my favorite book.
Ooh.
Since high school.
Ooh, what was your favorite book since high school?
The Count of Monte Cristo.
And This Is How You Lose the Time War has knocked it off the throne.
Yeah, it's infinitely shorter.
It is infinitely... Yeah. She was like, we should do that sometime on the podcast. I'm like,
You want to do the Count of Monte Cristo?
I love that book.
If I still worked
Oh
in...
my god.
Like, if I still worked in a microchip fab where I could listen to books for 12 hours a day, I would be into that. That's not my job right now.
Yeah.
So,
I would dare you to try to listen to that book during your job.
yeah. Oh no, I would. People might die.
Failure.
Yeah, it would be bad.
I don't actually dare you.
Yes.
It's not like it's a double dog dare or anything.
So Regan is our guest today. Regan, like she said, is a poet. One of my favorite. I don't know that much about. I'll be real, guys. I don't know that much about poetry. There probably won't be too many poetry books on this podcast because I don't know how to talk about them. But Regan's like all of her poems are very dramatic and they seem like they're set in the Old West, and they're awesome. And I'm gonna cover up the screen so we stop looking at ourselves.
You know,
Yeah.
Riggs, I gotta say, you would look. I clapped. There's the clap. Dang it. I haven't cussed yet, though. I'm really proud of myself. Sorry for clapping. But Regan, I would love to see you in a bonnet. Fabulous. I'll bet you would look
Or
so
a Stetson.
fancy.
I think I have seen you in a Stetson.
I think you would look so fancy in a bonnet.
I'm trying to think.
I think you've worn a cowboy hat to a poetry slam or something.
I don't think I have. I'm glad I leave that energy, though, that I've just shown up
Maybe
in a
not.
Stetson.
I'm just picturing you in a black cowboy hat like you're about to murder somebody for cheating at cards.
I mean, that's the general vibe I try to bring
General
to the
vibe.
function.
Right,
Yeah.
general vibe.
Yeah.
Anyway, this month on the podcast, we're talking about This Is How You Lose the Time War. One of my favorite books of the last 10 years. Apparently your new favorite book. Regan,
really good.
how do you feel about this book, Regan?
It is definitely up there. I had read it, like I said, once before, and I think that, like, with time and revisiting and, like, just getting to appreciate literary works a little bit more that are very, very literary, it has definitely become one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, it blends. For those of you who have not read it, This Is How You Lose the Time War is a 2019 novella written by two people, Max Gladstone and
Amal El-Motar.
Yes.
who, just given the times we're living in, we have to acknowledge this is a book about ending eternal conflict, and it was written by a Jewish American man and a Lebanese Canadian woman. And just kind of to timestamp this episode, it is May of 2026. Things are getting real between Israel and Lebanon, and pretty much Israel and everybody else right now.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to, as this book states, just kind of a definitive end to to conflict, trying to find a way just to make it all stop. But I thought that was important to mention early on, I guess. But I mean, this book is a story about war. It stars two mass murdering, arguably psychopaths.
100%.
It is one of the most beautiful love stories I've ever
No,
read.
honestly.
Like, for real. I was ugly crying while door dashing. Once I got to the end, I couldn't.
It's wild how easily you forget, because they kind of turn that hunger and that, like, sort of obsessive violence, for lack of a better term, into, like, consuming the other person. It's so easy to forget that they are they are mass murderers.
They are killing
across time.
Across time.
Not even just like, in like one little area. It's like across different dimensions of time and space. And
yeah.
I
and
clapped again.
their job and their purpose has been to commit these violences.
Yes.
Yeah, they were both created for the purpose of being generals and secret agents in a war across time. In a war that is never, not just for one timeline, but for basically getting as many timelines as their side could get. The two main characters' names are Red and Blue. Red works for an organization called the Agency.
Mm-hmm.
The Agency is something of a technocratic, futuristic society. And Blue is from something called Garden, which is, as you can guess, and as Red states early, some sort of vine-covered fairyland. But basically, both of these sides are trying to control as many timelines as they can, and both seem to have these braids of timelines that are very firm on either end of the timeline spectrum, one being technological and one being nature-based. And all of the timelines in the middle seem to be up for grabs. And that's all you really need to know about how the time travel works. They're trying to conquer timelines, and it's not going well for anyone in the middle.
It rarely does.
It rarely does.
It's really interesting to, like, consider this. I mean, obviously it is a work of science fiction, but it reads almost entirely just like a war story.
Yeah.
To me, the science fiction feels very much. It feels so natural in the way the war is discussed and the way the jumping around is discussed, and you get to learn the lingo in the book so quickly that it feels just like you're talking about a war. There's not really any building of how the time travel works, or like anything.
They jump up and down grade. They self-contained can do it themselves. They are these thousands of years old, highly evolved, perfected killing machines. That are also, fully, both of them apparently fully human. Still created as human beings, and that's.
Well, it like kind of reminds me of like the the race that Khan is in Star Trek, right? Like they're
genetically perfect
species, but they also they seem to have like some form of like organic technology like applied to their body, because at one point I think it's Red like turns into like some wolf thing.
Oh, that's Blue.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Blue. Okay, I told you I was fuzzy.
It's hard to remember which is which because I almost wish it were Green and Red instead of Blue and Red, because Green makes me think Garden, Blue makes me think shiny metal. So when I'm thinking, I kept getting Blue confused with Red. Yeah, but they're two very distinct personalities. They outlined this project together at a writing conference and decided they wanted to work together, and then sent each other corresponding chapters.
Yeah.
So let's look it up to make sure we get it right. I think you said it was Max who always wrote red.
Yeah, and Amal wrote blues letters.
Right.
If I recall correctly.
And kind of how this starts is Red is on a battlefield, having just succeeded, utterly decimating her foes.
When Red wins, she stands in the middle of a battlefield.
Yep, that's how the book starts.
Yeah.
And it's like both armies broke themselves, and that's what she wanted. It didn't matter who won, they just both needed to lose.
Yeah.
And that is what happened. And she finds in the wreckage something of a trap, but a trap with a letter inside. A trap that's meant to be sprung, and a trap that's meant to be defeated. And it's a congratulatory letter from someone on the other side.
One of my favorite aspects about that is in the letter, Blue mentions, like, hey, if you try to do the right thing here by going and telling your commander and commandment that I have written you this letter, you've already proven yourself infected. Like, you've proven that you have taken my words into you.
Right. You're already compromised.
Yeah.
Yeah, the agency is run by a very cold operator called the Commandant. Yeah. And you never really meet the leader of Garden, because it's not really clear what that would be. Or if anyone in Garden really knows what that would be. Garden is when you finally get to see what, like, entrenched, like, Garden behind the wall, no contested territory. It is insane. But most of the book takes place in contested territory, on battlefields after the fact, after the action has happened.
Yeah.
Because that's not what the book's about. The book's not about big space battles. The book is about two people from opposite ideologies finding out they actually have more in common with themselves than they do their counterparts.
Yep.
And finding out that, hey, maybe all of this is dumb. Maybe this is dumb.
Maybe war is bullshit, actually.
Yeah. I like how, like, the theme through their letters all the way through the end, you hear them say it multiple times. This is how we win. And it's always like a thing.
Ironic.
Yeah. I think that's really fascinating.
Well, and it starts out with them talking about their side's philosophies on how they're going to win.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because they don't talk about, well, we believe in nature and we believe in science.
Right.
And no, these are the principles that led us to this. We are networked. We know everything, The part where Red talks about being 13 and getting out of her pod, where she spent her entire life connected to the entirety of humanity in that time, and probably all of humanity in other timelines too.
Yeah. Just
jacked into the Matrix, and how unplugging herself, and feeling alone for the first time was terrifying and freeing.
Yeah.
And then learning how, well, you're never really alone.
It's also really interesting, like, how there's never, from the jump, there are taunts, and there are, well, my side has this strength, your side has this whatever, but there's never really sort of any animosity in the letters, like, from the jump. It's all just curiosity and, not necessarily flirtation, but it's a genuine interest in each other.
I want to piggyback off that because I totally agree. One of the things that I like a lot about the way that they, like, interact and talk to each other is, like, I'm pretty sure that it's Red talking at that point. But she's like, You'll see my smile from across the battlefield. I know that shit got me.
Oh my God.
They were like, she's like, you'll see my smile from across the battlefield, but you won't actually see it because I'll already be gone.
Yeah,
She's sassy. I don't know.
they're both so sassy, and it's
Yes.
really interesting. Like, I think.
Well, and they don't know who each other are at
No.
first, so they're both trying to big dog each other.
Yeah.
And then it slowly becomes clear Blue is older. Blue knows a little bit more about certain things than Red does.
Yeah.
And Blue is a little more dominant than Red,
Mm-hmm.
which is all very interesting because none of it is in the it's textual in that I want to rip your throat out and watch you bleed and all this,
And then it's sexual.
but it's hot, right? Like,
Underneath.
I want to hold a, I want to feel your heartbeat while my knife's at your throat, shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, oh, that's how you two
I think-
like to play.
Yeah.
But it's like also Red doesn't want
No
some
kink shaming.
no.
no kink shaming.
You're in a
and-
knife play. Let's
Yeah,
go. I
yeah,
mean, it's not my jam.
I didn't. None of those were direct quotes. That was more
I'm
vibes,
trying to
vibes
see
than
if I
anything.
had one of those, but I don't think I have any of those annotated. But yeah, it's wild. They're just. Oh yeah, the twist of you in me, the writhe. You're a whip uncoiling in my veins, and I write between the rearing and the snap.
Oh yeah.
And that's blue
Oh, that's
to
at
red.
the end.
Yeah.
That's Blue to Red because but that's like the ultimate, like that's the dominant one becoming submissive
Yeah.
to accept that, like, I love you so much I'll die for you.
Yeah.
And the poison's inside her.
And it's
accepting pain for anyway.
Yeah,
It's really beautiful.
This book has the most beautiful line I've ever read, and I will never forget it. I had to go back and hear it because Blue says it in her letter just before she enters garden. Or before Red enters garden. But the letter that Blue leaves, she says, I want to love you I want to meet you in every place I've ever loved. And I just thought that was super powerful because I think about the places that I've gone. I've been to some cool places. I would love to be in all of those places and meet you there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that's powerful.
Sorry. I know we're jumping way ahead.
Oh, that's okay.
But there's
Sorry.
something.
It
so...
turns out it's a story that happens throughout time.
Hey!
They're doing a lot of
jumping
jumping
to
back
different
and forth.
braids.
There's-
No, they do seem to have to stay on a linear. I think this is the only hard science fiction rule in there. They have to stay on the same timeline or universe explode. I think it's like the closer they are to the future, they can't fuck with each other's past too much, or it will explodey things.
Yeah, they have to be incredibly careful. They can't go too. I want to say they can't go too far down thread.
Right. I don't really know. No, because they go back and there's like dinosaurs and stuff. They can go both ways, but
I go both ways.
When they interact, I think they have to be careful how they interact with past versions of themselves.
Yeah.
Or world go exploding.
Yeah.
I mean, they taught you that in Back to the Future, though.
Yeah.
Just being real. You're not supposed to talk to your past self.
Right.
But kind of going back to what you were saying about like meeting you in every place that I've loved. There's something so powerful about the fact that Red is going back to all of their letters and physically consuming them.
Yes.
There's, I mean, this entire book is so full of this, like, just visceral imagery, and it's honestly kind of funny that when they like speak of wanting to consume one another or wanting to like just physically entangle themselves. There is obviously something
Right.
sexual about it, but it's so literal in that sense.
yeah.
They want to rip each other apart
Yeah.
and find out what makes each other tick.
Well, they're kind of like Hellraiser beings in that, like, there's nothing that can kill them. Hardly. They're functionally immortal. They're functionally indestructible. They can live in the vacuum of space. There's nothing like clearly some, like, there are parts in the story where they are in male bodies, but they are still very much female.
Yeah.
They're, they don't follow the rules of, like, the universe just isn't the same thing to them, right?
Yeah.
They're spending lifetimes waiting for the next letter. They're never very specific, but hundreds of years in some cases. It's near the end, I think.
Grow a letter in a tree.
To grow a letter in a tree. It's and for it to be like the thing you're looking forward to as, like, lifetimes are passing and things are, and it's like, yeah, but it'd be really good to hear from my pen pal. I
wonder what Blue's up to.
Yeah.
And then, like, just the echoes they start seeing of each other and everything they're doing, and color becomes so important.
Yeah, I'll shut up for a while. Can you guys talk about the language of the book? Because both of you are more equipped.
I want to chat with you really quick about how they use, like, different fucking ways to describe colors.
My mood indigo is like...
Blue Dabba
Okay, there's one that's Sailor's Delight.
Yes.
I only got that because when I was a kid, my grandpa used to say, because he was a sailor, red sky at night, sailor's delight, red sky at morning, sailors take warning.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when I heard Sailor's Delight, I was like, that's... Stop it!
Dude,
it made me think of my grandpa.
It's weird. Crazy. It's so...
Weird thinking of my grandpa while I read a pretty gay book. Except I told you after I finished it, I was like, I don't think this book is that gay. And you were like, dude, it's super gay. And
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't feel like
so
I
fair.
just didn't identify with it that way. Like,
well, do you think it's like on your wavelength of gay? It's
Maybe.
Also like they're not.
It was just so. It was just a. Like, if you had a love story between flowers, that's what deadly ass nightshade flowers.
Yeah.
But like flowers nonetheless.
They are far from what we are as humans.
So like like gender doesn't even come into mind for me. So for me, it's not really gay. It's more just raw. Yeah, raw. It's raw. it's heat, passion, lust, love, fire,
understanding, connection.
Yes, empathy.
It's really funny to hear you say that, because to me, reading this book, it is deeply and profoundly like between two feminine entities.
Yeah, totally.
And I think a lot of that, again, kind of going back to the language when we, like, typically when we, it's because both are doing the chasing, right? Both have so much agency in what they're doing, and it feels, to me at least, very much like not necessarily a power fantasy, but taking gender out of the equation. The language is very much of it. It has both sides of femininity, right? Because, like, you have a lot of people who discuss, like, feminine rage and feminine aggression and sort of the viciousness of that kind of aspect of us, and, like, having to live in a society.
No, I never get mad about
literally
anything.
Literally, but there's also
ever
so much about the body and nurturing and caring for each other that is so, like, it deeply speaks to the caretaking part of what we consider feminine energy.
Well, I think that at that point, like, I mean, like, it's really just there's like a lot of masculine and feminine energy in everybody. Everybody possesses masculine and feminine energy.
Yeah.
Men have people who have more masculine energy have the capability of having extreme empathy and nurturing for other people, and vice versa. And I don't think I honestly, like, I don't think gender really mattered in this book to me, because and maybe it's just because I personally, I really don't care what gender you are. Let's get it on.
Big thing.
So,
yeah.
you know, maybe that's why I didn't identify with that
It matches
side of
up
it.
so clearly, aligns so clearly with your outlook.
Yeah.
That you just saw it as normal instead of as like recognizing you're just like, well, duh.
It's so obvious. Like, we don't need to.
No,
really think
I
about
showed the. I mean, I'm the straightest person at most functions the three of us are at together.
Yeah.
And we're in a lot of functions together.
I'm not really sure how that ever happened. That's just how the cookies crumbled for me. But I showed this when I read it for the first time. I read it 3 or 4 years ago. I showed it to a partner who I thought would really like it because they were queer, and they were like, "Why are you reading gay shit?" And I'm like, empathy. I'm trying to get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, the book's good. It's written well.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. That whole book is truly lovely.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments in the book was Red is having an existential crisis, because I believe this is the point where she is catching on that someone is following.
Yeah.
And I'm about to get my ass caught.
Mm-hmm.
And seeking the camaraderie of her peers, she just goes to Rome when they're about to assassinate Caesar, because she's like, there are always agents around when we're assassinating Caesar, because we love the drama. And it just shows up, and she's like, anyway, so how are you guys doing? What's going on? Stab.
Do you think the Commandant is following me?
Yeah.
No, why would the Commandant be following you?
Yeah, the
That's
Commandant
really
can read
stupid.
your mind.
I
That's
don't think you have to
dumb.
be worried
Yeah.
about it. And also, what did you do if the Commandant is following you?
Yeah. Anyway, bye.
And like,
It wasn't obvious at all.
it's so.
And Atlantis is the other. Just I thought it's so funny because they're like, I fucking hate Atlantis. Atlantis is
Atlantis
dumb.
fucking sucks, and they just have this weird bonding moment of like, yeah, Atlantis sucks in every fucking timeline. What do they keep
But
sending
like,
us here?
here's the thing. No one ever does Atlantis right in fiction. Like, it's always kind of a bomb. Like, you know, the Disney movie is almost right. Like, it's the closest anybody's got. But, like, people write about Atlantis all the time from ancient times in memoriam until now.
Mm-hmm.
And it never quite hits right. No matter who's writing, it inspires. There's something about it that people find intriguing. But modern adaptations, at least, never connect. It's like Arthur.
What that tells me is Andrew grew up in Atlantis in a past life. And he's like,
none of you get it right.
You guys are fakes.
Yeah. Atlantis was Japan, you idiots.
There is a city in Japan that you can scuba dive over because it's underwater. It's completely sunken, and it's supposed to feel like flying over a city. Just
that would
fun fact.
Be so weird and
I think it would be cool.
Snorkeling.
I'm afraid of heights, though. I wonder how it would make me feel.
It is really disorienting because it's so clear. When I went snorkeling, it was so clear that like you can't like you think you're looking at the bottom and you have a good view of it, and you go down a little bit and you realize, oh, things are coming into focus, And then you go down a little further and you realize, oh, things are coming into more focus.
Oh, that's
And-
just
and
me
then you look-
drowning.
And then you look up and you realize
Literally.
the sun is really far away.
That's just my brain being
That's-
deprived of
And it's
oxygen.
hard, and because it's so clear above you, it's kind of hard to tell where exactly the surface is. So,
And this is why I don't go underwater.
well,
Ever.
I don't do that now because my ears are bad. Like I need to get the earplugs for swimming, and I have oddly shaped ears. But
Yeah, that's fair.
this is all so interesting for people who tuned in.
I'll
to
bet you
hear
know
about the
who I'll bet
Hugo
did
Award
not.
winning.
You know,
This
I'll
is-
bet did not have swimming earplugs, red and blue. I'll
Yeah.
bet
They didn't need them.
So
Yeah, I
it's-
know.
it's
That's
speaking
what I'm
about Atlantis, one of
saying.
it kind of goes into something you kind of prompted us to talk about the language.
Mhm.
What I find really fascinating, and it kind of came more into focus towards the end when Red is standing on a cliff after what happens with Blue, and she like is tumbling off the cliff and think like there's a storm raging, and the environment is very much like her reflective of her inner turmoil, right? And in any other book, it would be like, oh, of course there's a storm brewing, of course, like the author decided, oh, the environment has to, but because there's so much of environment as metaphor,
Right.
and they're
She chose that spot for the storm. Like she's
Exactly.
being extra.
and that is
yeah.
that is something I find so
Well, they're dramatic.
Well, and I
At the
love,
Yeah.
you know, they have a tea shop. That's their favorite tea shop in all the timelines, you know.
Yeah.
They don't meet at, but they leave each other
notes.
messages.
Yeah,
there.
and there's something so profound about like having that freedom to go to a place that just makes you, that is the externalization of what you're feeling.
right. The metaphor is the point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that is such a clever use of
The text is subtext and the subtext is text
Yes,
all at once,
yes.
which is a really cool thing. You can only, well, I don't want to say only do in speculative fiction, but it's a lot fucking easier, it's a lot more palatable
yeah.
in speculative
Yeah.
fiction. Do either of you have like favorite settings you can think of?
Oh my god. I really loved the cliff setting, but I also love when Blue is embedded and
Red
yeah.
breaks through.
No.
Or- oh,
so
yeah.
when Blue is embedded and she's kind of living this more like quiet life, and we get a
Mhm.
little sense of like the domestication she's going
Mhm.
through in order to seal the braid or whatever. And the
Oh, that's right, because Red did a bunch of like devastated some shit, like
yeah,
moment
because
of
Red
triumph.
is like going,
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
and Blue is just sort of sitting there watching, and it's like, I feel you in like doing all of these
Yeah.
things, and I wonder, there's like a
Oh,
moment.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I'm sorry. I was
No, you're
trying to remember, and
Red-
no, I know exactly what
Yeah.
it's at
Yeah.
the very end when she's talking about like
She's sending her the multiple messages
Right,
through
right,
over,
Yeah.
over decades.
yeah. I thought that was fucking powerful.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
the fuck. I haven't said fuck this whole time.
It's
Now I've
okay.
said
No,
it 3 times in a row.
It's okay. You made it past the first 5 minutes. I don't fucking care.
I also like the opening scene where Red is on the battlefield and
Mhm.
they're like describing, because when I first tried to listen to this book, I had a hard time paying attention.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and I was not focusing on what was said. But with the language in this book, especially at the beginning, once I started to focus on it and I could the way that they describe, like she picks up that skull and I think she like crushes it in her hands or something like that, and just the way the language is in the book, it gives me a gives me a special feeling.
No, I feel that.
You can't say so for the listeners who haven't
Oh,
listened
yeah.
before, Bex cannot
I have
picture things.
aphantasia.
She cannot
Yeah.
picture things in her head, so
So these, like, the language that they use in this book evokes actual feeling and emotion inside of me because of the words and the metaphor that they're using. It makes my insides feel like there's orange crush soda in them.
Can I give you guys my favorite line?
Or Big
one
Red,
of them.
actually.
Yeah,
Big Red's
100%.
They are not so foolish, or else they're cruel. She collapses to her knees, and the rat tide closes over her, whiskers sharp against her cheeks, tails curl around her ears, and when the tide passes, she is crying again. And though she has never had a mother, she thinks she knows what a mother's touch would feel like. I think what is so powerful about this book, and the reason it is so visceral, is that, like, they are both, as you mentioned, such chaotic beings of timeless and boundless energy that have to do the same thing over and over and over again. In her first letter, Blue's like, I was so fucking bored of this war.
Yeah.
And so finally, like, I think in that moment we really get the sense of how numb these two have become.
Well, it's the Rick Sanchez effect. It's the nothing. If there are infinite timelines, then no life matters.
Yeah.
And by the end of the book, and I want to move into this next. By the end of the book, they're going, I feel for every life I've taken. You know, there's while Red is bouncing, having her majors, she's working really hard. This is her grind phase. She burns a bunch of astronauts on a launch pad and just starts, bounces over to another timeline and starts weeping. And by the end of the book, they're like, I think we can save everybody. I think we can save everyone. And so I want to talk about that, about the twist. Okay, so let's talk about. First, let's explain the structure of the chapters, and then we'll talk about how that works into the structure of the twist and how the book ends. Each chapter of the book, if you have not read it, and I do recommend you do.
You should absolutely read it.
I mean,
it'll only take you 4 hours.
And
if you listen to the book, it'll only take you 4 hours.
And 10 minutes.
Reading the book with your eyeballs, and if you can get a physical copy, I've listened to it twice. I've read a physical copy once. I can't find my physical copy. I think I just gave it to somebody. But it is, the words are beautiful. Like the text is beautiful. If you can put eyeballs on it, I would recommend. But listening, the narrators on the Audible version are amazing.
And audiobooks make, like, if you aren't necessarily, like, super tuned to really dense, flowery language and, like, purple prose, kind of like how this is, audiobooks make that so much more accessible. So
yeah, that they can't. It honestly, it depends for me.
Really?
If I had to listen to, like, the Silmarillion, I never would have gotten through it because I would have been like, I forget what happened.
It does help to have something to go back to.
But let's get into how the chapters work.
Yeah.
Basically, the beginning of every chapter is one of our characters, starting with Red, and then also Red is by default, I guess, the main. Like, they're both the main character, but there are more chapters with Red just because of what happens at the end.
Yeah.
But starting with Red's on a battlefield. You see the aftermath of a battlefield, or you see the setup for the life the character is currently living at the time. Sometimes they're a warrior in Attila the Hun's band, and sometimes they're reading old lady Chatterley books in Victorian England, and sometimes they're a futuristic spy. And sometimes they're stabbing Caesar. But all of that leads to them discovering a letter left for them by the other one. By Red finding Blue's letters, Blue finding Red's letters. And they don't know when they're going to find the letters, but they know what they are when they find them. And the first couple, they assume are traps, and they are traps, and they're trying to kill each other in a playful, fun way, but also not taking it very seriously.
In a playful, like...
Yeah. And there is a turning point where Blue gives Red a real letter that is sealed in wax in a very Victorian style, and in the letter explains that, hey, you now have my ticket if you want it. This is, you have my DNA. It's on the wax seal. Also, it's poison, so you could eat the wax seal and you could have my DNA, but you'd also die. But probably not because you're smart. But I'm putting my life in your hands.
And then on top of that letter, she writes another letter. Isn't that the one?
Well.
Or is that Red that does that?
Later, Red.
Okay, well then never mind.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain it. I already forgot.
So they both feel they're being followed by some. And at the and the end of every chapter is something called the Seeker. They destroy the letter, and then something called the Seeker collects whatever remains.
Yeah.
And is that in every chapter, or is that?
Yeah.
In...
So basically, what happens is we start off. Blue either finds red letter, whatever. We get to read the letter they wrote. And then after the letter is read, a seeker comes along and destroys the remnants of the letter.
Or finds the remnant and takes them into themselves.
Yes.
In some way. And the implication being, oh, somebody's on their trail. Somebody knows they're talking to each other.
Yeah.
And you kind of know this the whole book. You know it from the first chapter. You don't know why it's happening, but you know somebody's onto them.
Yeah.
And eventually, Red gets caught. The Commandant figures out that Red has been reading Red's mind, and they are both doing mental tricks to keep their side from realizing what's going on, hiding it in their brains, keeping only a sliver of themselves true to it.
Guarding the blue flame kite.
Guarding, they talk about, it's beautiful because they talk about, I don't think about you, I think about a blue sky. And it's like, why does she love blue sky so much? Oh, don't worry about it.
Why does she love the water?
And the Commandant eventually collects Red and says, hey, I don't know if you know this, but you've been compromised. You've been receiving at least some letters, and we need you to... They're trying to flip you. You have been compromised, but you can be saved. You need to construct a letter and send it back to this person so we can kill them. It needs to be a trap that works, and then you'll be free. And before that... she sends a letter to Blue saying, don't open the next letter.
We're going to stop writing each other. It's going to be fine.
We have to. I love you, 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 I love you. Please don't open the next letter. I love you. Please don't open the next letter.
She doesn't say don't open it. She says don't read it.
Don't read it.
Yeah. I mean, still, like...
Okay, but please don't read the next letter. Please... it's enough that I know you're out there.
Yeah.
Please don't read the next letter.
We'll go back to fucking each other up on the other side.
Yeah, and we'll know it was. I'll know it was you, and you'll know it was me, and that'll be enough.
We'll be good. Yeah.
We'll have the game.
Mm-hmm.
But come on, you know she's gonna read the next letter.
Ugh.
Well, and that's the thing, because Red's next missive is do what you want. Or something along those lines.
Right, no, she says, she's like, you should basically off yourself.
No.
She does. She tells her that...
Her letter was only like a line long, and it says, like, do what you want, or do what you will.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, so Red sends that missive saying, don't read my next letter. I love you. We'll have the game. It'll be good. And Blue's only response is... as you wish. I kid you not, it's as you wish.
Oh, is it as you wish?
It's as you wish. It's as you wish.
Then Red sends the follow-up letter, which is, stop reading this. You're dying. You may have time to save yourself. Stop, 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 stop.
Blue, fuck, no, don't.
Yeah, fuck you, stop reading this.
I love you, don't finish this. You're dying. Are you still reading?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Please, please, please stop. Please stop reading. Go to a hospital. Any hospital. And Red.
And I don't think this was touched on. The writing itself is what's poison.
Right.
She's using some sort of technique in the writing
Yeah,
that makes it poison,
probably,
and that's why she shouldn't read
we'll
it.
get to that in a second.
That was why I brought it up.
I'll explain the turn sort of chronologically as the book.
Okay.
So this is it, right? Like this is Blue. Blue takes the poison because Blue knows if she doesn't, the Commandant will kill Red.
Yeah, because
I thought Red was gonna die through the whole book. I kept telling Andrew, I'm like, dude, I think Red's gonna die. Red's gonna get killed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you read that part and you're like, fucking Blue dies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I called Andrew. I was like, Blue dies?
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yep. Blue dies, and
because she poisoned herself.
Because she, knowing what would happen, but also
that's love, baby.
Writing a letter while she's dying. That's also telling you, I am yours, but go fuck yourself. You know, what did you think I was going to do? One, I'm not going to let you win by getting to be the one who dies. And two, I'm not going to let you die. I could never let you die. Of course I was going to take the poison.
Of course I'm going to save you.
Yeah.
And also, if this is how it ends, then fine. If you played a long con, that's fine. But,
but
this is where we're at.
But then, with that letter that Blue is writing while she's dying, she puts a seal on it with her code in it, so that way.
No, that was before.
Yeah,
I think it was before. It was at the coffee shop in Victorian England where she compromised herself
and basically said, "My life is in your hands." And Red's like, "I would never do that. What do you think?" Anyway, so Blue dies.
So Blue dies, and Red is let off the leash to go hog wild up and down Thread. And nature's garden is trying to kill her real bad. And finally, she keeps trying to put herself in positions where she'll die. Is the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, for sure.
Is the vibe I'm getting. It's the end of this book. It goes faster than the rest of the book.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's but she gets stuck somewhere, and it's finally this is it. I'm gonna have to do this, and then shoves that wax seal in her mouth.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So that does happen, but I think the wax seal comes from earlier. And if I'm mistaken, please tell us at home who's right. We need those comments.
If you think I'm an arbiter, I don't remember either. So
I am. We'll call it 96% certain that she eats the wax seal from Blue's letter.
Yeah.
That's why she goes in. That's why she's able to go into Garden.
Yes.
Because
that's
it has
true.
Blue's code in it. That was what I was talking about.
Yes, but I think the seal came earlier in the story.
So actually, what ends up happening is when Red is on the cliff, she decides she needs to go into Garden, right? For various reasons that we'll get to, but that is when Red is cool, I'm going to go back and I'm going to collect Blue's DNA. And so that's why...
We forgot something else that's important before this that happened. And I'm sorry, audience.
Yeah.
At one point, when we got I was going to say it, and then we took a break.
Yeah.
When Blue disconnects from the network. And steps out of her pod and is alone. She sees a wolf.
Yes.
When Red steps out from the
wolf.
When Red leaves her pod, she sees a six-legged wolf, and it turns out later in that story that wolf is Blue, and there was a assassination attempt set up on young Red. And young Red was saved by Blue, a current era timeline Blue as the six-legged wolf.
And I don't know what to say.
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
It was awesome. And Blue didn't know what to say either. Thank you. Or Red didn't know what to say.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And that happened earlier in the book.
Yeah.
And so they're on. So Red eats the wax and is transformed into a garden being. And now both of their sides are chasing her through time.
Yeah.
And she eventually, they describe it as hitting a wall.
Like a green wall.
Like a green wall. She
Yeah.
hits the part of time that is firmly within Garden's grasp.
Yes.
That these are timelines that are stable, that there is a far future that is ruled by nature.
Yeah.
And she hits that wall, and because she has Blue's DNA, she goes through
right
it,
through
and
it.
she gets into Garden's stable
Oh.
timeline.
May I?
Go ahead.
Okay, so previous to this, we get two very important incidents from Red and Blue's past. Red's is that she stepped out of the
Damn
pod.
it, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yes.
She steps out of the pod, she disconnects from, she sees the six-legged wolf, all is there, right? And then Blue mentions, well, you know, when I was a kid, I got really sick, compromised by enemy action, and
was disconnected from Garden.
Yeah.
This is the part that made me lose my mind.
Yeah. So-
So
Keep going.
earlier in the book, she talks about that.
Yeah.
I was attacked. Garden thought I was embedded in a young child. I spent a lifetime as a person.
yeah,
And at my original life was as a person. Probably it seemed like at some point in the 20th or 21st century.
yeah,
And was sick for a time. Parents didn't know what was going on, but Garden knew it was enemy action, and so cut her off.
Yeah.
It was like, you're sick, so like you got fungus, cut you off.
yeah.
And she got better.
Mm-hmm.
And Garden eventually, after several years, took her back. And so both of them have had this time of loneliness that most people in their societies have never experienced.
Right, yeah.
Well, I might be just jumping ahead too far, but the thing that I love most about that, though, is
They
that,
weren't.
No. That the, like, Blue saved Red,
Mm-hmm.
and then Red saves Blue
Mhm.
Yeah.
at the very end.
It's really interesting because, real quick, sorry to keep...
Oh, no, that's okay.
But, like, there's such an element of, you know, loneliness. And at one point, Blue asks Red, "Do you ever hunger?"
Mhm.
And they talk about what they, like, have experienced as friendship and connection. And for them, it's very surface level.
Mhm.
And they've had so many different lives. Particularly Blue talks about having so many different, like, intimacies and different versions of herself out there. And Red is kind of like the same in that they've had sexual experiences, they've had encounters, but it's never a genuine connection.
They've been parents.
They've been parents.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they don't have, like, a full understanding of what a connection actually feels like and what it means to build something organically and, like, have something not forced fed upon them. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Yeah. All of this to say.
Don't say that in the agency.
All of this to say, it's okay.
Mhm.
Red's in the garden now.
Right. So, in connection to Blue being sick as a child, this is because Red busts into Garden, goes down the timeline
Mm-hmm.
to where
Blue is essentially
Blue-
being decanted.
Blue is. It's interesting because
Yeah.
Blue is described as, and this is not, I believe, the same for Red because I think Red is one static being.
Mm.
Blue can live in multiple places at the same time. So Blue is simultaneously in a flower bed,
Mm.
being grown, while their consciousness is in the body of this child.
Same.
And so.
Aren't we all?
And so Red is standing next to the flower body in this beautiful glade with these giant moths floating around.
Yes.
With giant knives for wings.
Yeah.
And she is fine because she is of garden now.
But hold on though, because they do talk about that. She says that it's like a razor's edge of whether they buy it or not.
Yeah, garden.
Yeah, they've got their wings to her.
Yeah,
throat.
like
So
it's close.
Garden is like this all-encompassing entity at this point, and they talk about sort of like the universe is watching, and there's this incredible moment where it's described as like in Red's timeline, the Commandant, and it's like a very sterile and not really like there's nothing over them, there's nothing watching. With Garden, it is like they are of Garden, they are all pieces of Garden, and so now you have Red, who is exactly who now has like a little bit of DNA, like just enough from Blue, just enough of Blue in them to be like, okay, Garden is watching. Garden knows that like
what are you
wrong.
Doing?
Something,
what's happening
exactly.
here? And she's
also, I think she's also aligning her thoughts to think like she's
think like
garden
Blue.
Growing,
Right.
warm sun.
I love mosquitoes with razor blades.
Yeah.
I am home.
And she takes a tiny little bit of the poison she poisoned Blue with that killed her, and puts it
like
into
an inoculation.
Yeah.
Yeah, vaccinates.
Yes, essentially vaccinates.
Couch potato Blue.
Yeah.
Which makes the Blue that is the consciousness of Blue inside the girl to get sick.
Yeah.
And get cut off from Garden.
But then,
get better.
Yeah, and also Red has like a little bit of the antivenom because it's so basically Blue has a little bit of red, Red has a little bit of blue. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
That's called purple.
And you find out both of the times when they were alone, they weren't
with each other.
They were with each other. They were both times. Neither of them had ever been alone, but when they were alone, they were actually with each other.
Soulmates.
Oh my god!
And so,
interdimensional soulmates.
Interdimensional soulmates across time. That is beautiful.
Holy
that is
fuck.
so beautiful.
Most beautiful book I've ever read. Ever.
Yeah.
And
I read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Beautiful for different reasons.
And no, there is a beautiful line in that book too. It's always her.
And so, when the poison is injected, nature knows what's up. Garden knows what's up. And Red has to book it.
Yeah, hard.
Like book it hard. Runs, busts back into the unclaimed zone, and immediately gets arrested by her side.
Like, you know what?
Straight up.
And one of my favorite parts about this is Red obviously gets caught. She's in prison, and it talks about the first time they get her out of her cell and they're talking to her. She's like, ask a little nicer.
Yeah. The Commandant's pulling her apart, and she's like, whatever, man. You made me. What am I like?
Ask
you know
me
what
nicely.
this is.
I don't fucking give a shit.
Yeah. And so the implication of the inoculation, I just wanted to say is that maybe
Blue's alive.
Maybe Blue lived.
Maybe Blue lived.
Blue's alive.
Maybe Blue lived.
Maybe Blue lived.
And maybe if Blue lived,
maybe Red can live too.
Okay, but hold on though. Blue has to have lived.
Sure.
And
Well,
here's why. Just because Blue died in one timeline doesn't mean that she couldn't exist in another.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where things get a little more dicey. I think the idea is that there are not multiple versions of the agents, but I don't know.
I call bullshit.
But the long story short, the inoculation does work. Red is in prison, and they're like, tomorrow we're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
If you don't tell us what happened in Garden, if you don't tell us anything about why you even did this, you are now infected. You are half agency, half Garden. If you don't tell me how this happened, I am going to kill you tomorrow.
Well, and also they want to know what Red saw because she's the only
Right,
agent that has
right.
been to Garden.
Right. And she's like, fuck you, deuces, smell you later.
Guess I'm gonna die.
Guess I'm gonna die tomorrow.
All right.
And her guard is like, but you're not one of them.
Yeah, he goes, why?
Yeah,
and
you
she
didn't-
goes, why? Why?
Like, yeah. Why would you do that for them? Like,
Why
yeah.
you didn't stay there, so you're not one of them.
But you're not one of us.
You didn't. But you knew this would happen if you came back. So why won't you help us? She's like, because neither side deserves us.
Yes.
Neither
Side
side
deserves
deserves us.
us. And when they say us,
they mean
they're
red
talking
and
about
blue,
red
but
and blue.
They mean everyone.
Oh my
they
God.
mean everyone.
And they mean all of us.
They mean all of us.
Well, she meant me and Red, and then she thought, yeah, but also
Yeah.
yeah.
you two and everybody, and then
Doesn't that guard walk away?
That guard-
Does that guard just fucking leave? Bye.
that guard walks away and
It's
and leaves behind, whether on accident or purpose, we don't know, a letter.
Yeah, we do.
I forgot about the letter.
Yes, because the guard's like,
Oh, that's
Bitch.
right.
Yeah.
Because at the end. Oh my God. Go on.
And that letter
Please.
says,
What does it say, Andrew?
may
What
I?
does it say,
Oh
Regan?
yeah, you just want to read the final. This
Can
may
I
be
read the
plagiarism.
final letter?
Yeah, read the
Please.
final letter.
Read
It's,
it.
it's
I'll,
long,
I'll
but
credit,
Perfect.
you know what it is.
this is
Perfect.
from Blue, so this is from Max Gladstone. This is
This
from
is
Amal.
Amal. My dear, hyper extremely red object, I didn't know what you would do. I want to explain myself. This self you've saved, this self you've infected, this self that was Mobius twisted with yours from its earliest beginning. I planted your letter. I watched it grow. I tended it and thought of feeding it my blood, rearing a mouth in it through which to speak to you. You said not to read it. The thought of your naivete charmed me in the same breath as the thought of betrayal burned me. It had to be one or the other. How could you think that your failure to kill me would result in anything less than your own death? How could you not see this for the test it was? How? Unless you trusted in your conquest sufficiently to know I would take myself off the board for you, prompted by a clumsy show of your pain. Either way, there was only one choice. To protect you, whatever your intentions, I had to submit to you. It wasn't hard, truth be told, Red. Not reading your letter was harder. When you said you wouldn't write again, when you said, that is the only letter of yours I wanted to obliterate from myself. If I'm honest, that's part of why I took the bait. To be unmade, that last written over. To be destroyed by you was easier, truly, than living with what you proposed. But I'm greedy, Red. I wanted the last word as well as the first. I hope you did not take my reply too hard. I knew you might not be the first to read it. I want you to know, I died thinking that if anyone could keep me alive, it would be you. It was, I confess to you here, a smug thought, that I died by my own hand and was raised by yours. You remember I promised you infiltration from the very first letter, dared you to be infected by me. I couldn't know then, I couldn't, and nor could you, how thoroughly you were already inside me, shielding me from the future. You've always been the hunger at the heart of me, Red, my teeth, my claws, my poisoned apple. Under the spreading chestnut tree, I made you and you made me. There's still a war out there, of course, but this is a strategy untested. What would Genghis say if we built a bridge together, Red? Suppose we reached across the burns of threads and tangles, cut through the braids' knots. Suppose that we defected not to each other's sides, but to each other. We're the best there is at what we do. Shall we do something we've never done? Shall we prick and twist and play the braid until it yields us a place-down thread, bend the fork of our shifts into a double helix around our base pair? Shall we build a bridge between our shifts and hold it, a space in which to be neighbors, to keep dogs, share tea? It'll be a long, slow game. They'll hunt us fiercer than they ever hunted each other, but somehow I don't think you'll mind. I've bought you 5 minutes to bust out. Instructions on overleaf, though I doubt you'll need them. I don't give a shit who wins this war, Garden or the agency. towards who shift the arc of the universe bends. But maybe this is how we win, Red. You and me. This is how we win. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good book.
It's so good. Holy shit.
Yeah, I recommend if you're living under an oppressive regime of any kind that is fighting stupid wars and they're telling you to help, don't.
I mean,
Stop.
you could just read it, period. if
You could
you're
just read the
human,
book.
'cause
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah.
teach you, I think it teaches you a lot about
How to choose humanity.
how to, yeah, I was going to say empathy for humanity, but yeah, choosing humanity instead of, just
The team.
the team.
Yeah.
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 Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
I mean, obviously, climate change is real.
I mean, unless it's real
You know,
Kool-Aid, like if
like-
it's like fruit punch Kool-Aid, you should drink that.
Yeah, but the idea that technology won't be one of the things that saves us from
Yeah.
climate collapse, it's just unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we need both to be a species.
Yeah.
Which is like the blunt metaphor of the book, I guess. The bluntest reading.
It's that we need.
It's like, I am man. This mean science and nature good? It's like, yeah, it does mean that, but
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
things too.
Yeah. I think it's also just really worth noting that, I mean, at some point, I mean, from the beginning to the end, there is no like purpose for their war.
Mhm.
When they're even like in the very beginning, when they're teasing each other, when they're taunting each other, and they're like, this is how we win, and they're talking about morals and value systems. They don't talk about like what they are personally fighting for. They're just like,
Right.
this is what the agency wants me to do. This is what Garden wants me to do.
Right.
And now that they're thinking for themselves, that
Well, and to be blunt, as veteran, that is what they want from you.
yeah,
They do not want you thinking about why we're doing the things we're doing. I mean, every war is fought for people who are fighting for the people beside them, but that's a great way to get people to fight for something stupid. It's like, you don't want your buddy to die even if what he's gonna die for is stupid.
yeah,
So you're willing to fight next to him,
mm-hmm.
and that's how they keep us fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually we got to figure something else out.
Yeah. Eventually, we gotta choose each other, and like capital E, capital O, humanity, each other.
Each other should be one word. It's weird it's not.
Kumbaya and shit.
Yeah.
That is one word.
Kumbaya. yeah.
Did
yeah.
you know that there is a city made by American hippies in Ecuador called Kumbaya, and they like all got old and like moved back to the States, but the town's still called that.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, that was the show.
Anyway,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
This Is How You Lose the Time War by Max Gladstone and Amar Al-Muhtar.
I felt, you know what I feel like though? I feel like we won this podcast.
I think we did. We won the
Yeah.
podcast.
We won the podcast.
And the day.
If you like this stuff, if you liked this, or you think you might like the stuff we make, please check out Bex's art Instagram, presence.throughart.
.art.
Presence.
Presence.through.art. And my band, Jazz. On my face.
Yeah. Check out my books on Amazon. I've got 3 of them. They're called Magic in the Holler, A Million Butterfly Wings, and Midnight Thoughts. And follow me on Instagram at Andrew Ingram 88.
You can find me at Regan the Rambler on Instagram. If you want to hear me reading more gay shit, you can find me haunting a local open mic near you. I have a chapbook of poetry of my own coming out later this month, so follow me on Instagram, keep an eye out for that, and thank you for listening and watching.
What are we reading next month, my love?
Oh, yay! Next month we are reading a book I read in jail. It got me through like 2 days in jail. I was really excited. It's called Kitchens of the Great Midwest. It is by J. It's by this guy. It follows a dad and his daughter throughout their lives, even when they're estranged. So you should join us for that. And it looks like the name of that author is... I was right. J. Ryan Streetall.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. So track that down. Check your local library. Get it on Audible.
It's on Spotify for free. If you have Spotify Premium, you get 15 hours of book for free every month.
Yeah.
I can't afford Audible and Spotify. Right.
Yep. They're all use your preferred dystopian company. Find the book. Get it wherever you find stuff. Find it at your local used bookstore. Torrent it. Dude, get it however you want to get it.
The Libby app.
The Libby app. Get it from the library.
You've Colorado address, you can get a free Denver Public Library card. I recommend checking that out because they have a large selection. So.
Yep. Lots of ways to get books. And hey, if you want to put one of my books on a torrenting site, I encourage it. All right.
That's it. Bye.
Love you all different amounts. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Anything else to plug? Any final thoughts?
Just my butthole.
I was just gonna say go read this book, but yours is better.
Yeah. Read this book. What are we?
Plug my butthole.
Yeah.